Well, good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, whatever time you are joining. And from wherever you are joining, it's good to have you here. I am Lori Kriva, and this is day 34 of the feast. So we are edging ever closer to the finish line, to our 40 days of meditations. And if you haven't been with us here at Swell Heart Mondays, the past few Mondays, I have been sharing about all kinds of experiences that you might have in meditation. And there's one that I haven't talked about yet, which is called purification. And you may have heard about this, you may not have. So, for those of you who are not familiar with purification, in the context of meditation, purification is a clearing. It's a clearing of debris, it's a clearing of stress, and anything that might have accumulated in the mind or in the body over time. And so when you think about things that might dull your sensitivity to life or dull your sensitivity to relationships that you might have in your life, this is simply this process of clearing any of that dullness away to find the sheen that's beneath all of that. And I love this analogy. Sarah McLean often uses this to describe purification. She says it's like dusting a glass table. And so when you walk by the table, you might not know that there's a layer of dust on that table. But when you wipe your finger across the table, what you do notice when you look at your finger is this dust has accumulated, and that dust over time can dim the shine and the clarity of the table and of the glass. And so meditation allows for this dusting of the table. It's this space that you create to dust that table. And purification is the process of actually clearing away that accumulated dust or that debris. And some things can happen when you start to run a cloth across the table and dust that glass, so to speak, especially if you do it on a regular basis. So, a couple things that you might notice is one, your priorities might change. Things that you thought were super important before and that you had to be on top of maybe become less so. Another thing that you might notice in the process is that your relationships might shift. The relationships that you really enjoyed for a period of time might not be so enjoyable anymore. Perhaps you bonded around gossip, or you bonded around certain activities, and those things have lost their luster for you over time. Perfectly normal. You might be sensitive to comments. You might be sensitive to the news or to situations maybe where there's loud noise or there is too much activity. You might notice that you have bursts of emotion that come out, things that you just never expected would trigger you, all of a sudden trigger you, or things that you take. Perhaps somebody says something to you that's really poignant, and all of a sudden you think, wow, that really touched me. Um, you might even become more aware of areas in your life that you ignored before. Perhaps you feel unsettled in some ways. So, those are some examples of purification. And as I said, that's all normal, it's healthy. And as you become more aware of what you feel, um, more aware or discovering what really resonates for you, this sensitivity that you feel through the purification process is really how your inner wisdom communicates with you. You're often more in your body, you're more present. And so, what I love to do is encourage you to notice and to feel your body's signals when you're making choices, especially as they show themselves, because the more that you honor those signals, the more they come and the more that you begin to trust them. I know for me, I get goosebumps. If I hear truth, if I hear someone who's got incredible talent, if they're a singer, someone is talking to me and it's a message that really resonates for me, that's my body's signal telling me, pay attention to this. So whatever is true for you, your body, in my mind, is really conspiring to awaken you and to bring you back into balance. Um, and I find this regular dusting of the table takes courage. It's not for the faint of heart, and really focusing on meeting the clearing of this debris with a beginner's mind is very important. To be patient and kind with yourself, and to pay a gentle attention and an awareness to what is going on for you. And I always think, when life gets difficult and things just seem like they're, falling down all around you, there are no accidents. You are ready for this change, and your awareness is unfolding in perfect time. Um, I want to mention that purification is also not just about challenges that might arise. Purification also has some really beautiful and magical things that can happen in the process. You might notice that you are more creative, or you really find the flow, that things are moving through you at a pace that you think, oh my gosh, where did I get that idea from? This is amazing. So things start to move. Um, you might fall in love with the sound of silence or nature in a way that you never noticed before. You might really enjoy or prefer being with the trees over being with a community of people. I know sometimes I have those tendencies to really want to be in nature and be in the stillness. Um, I also find when you're more attuned to your senses, you have this heightened sensitivity, and you might notice colors, you might notice little orbs, things that are sort of in the environment that you never noticed before. Or you might notice even synchronicities or miracles happening. I mentioned before we jumped on and I started recording that I had lost my dog this week. We had to send her and put her down. And she has sent me and our family messages from the other side. And it's really because our family has been tuned in to her presence. Even though she's not physically with us, we feel her around us, and we notice the things that bring her to mind. So whatever experiences that you are having with purification, I encourage you to stick with the practice. Be as consistent as you can. Keep dusting that table to allow for more and more of this internal wisdom to come through. Even if it gets challenging, even if you want to quit or you get frustrated, always be kind to yourself like a good friend would. Let go of any expectations, and whatever unfolds for you, just know that inside and outside of meditation, it's perfect as it is, just to be with yourself without judgment, even if your mind is telling you all kinds of stories. So today, we are going to lose our minds to come to our senses, as John Kabat-Zinn says. And we will start today with a five senses practice. And then we will move into a body scan where I will walk you through from head to toe, um, calling out each body part and allowing you to really find a place of relaxation. And then we'll rest in the stillness. As always, we'll be meditating for about 20 minutes, and I will keep track of the time. So because we're going to use or begin with the five senses practice, I'd love to say, um, to begin, we'll have our eyes open, but first go ahead and move into an upright and seated position, one that allows you to be both alert and relaxed for a period of time. You might put your hands on your lap or at your sides, and whatever feels comfortable for you. Again, we'll be here for about 20 minutes, so find a space that's good, that holds you. You can go ahead and let your shoulders relax, let your belly be soft. And we'll begin with our eyes open, as I said, and I will ask you to call your attention to 5 things in the space around you that you can see. You might tune in to even the smallest details that you might normally overlook. Perhaps there's a color that you haven't noticed before, or an object that comes to mind. And as you tune into those 5 things, really tune into them, noticing the detail of each one. Now, if you are comfortable, you're welcome to close your eyes. And if it feels more comfortable to keep your eyes open, just simply gaze at a point in front of you and begin to focus your attention on 4 things that you feel. You might notice the sensation of clothing on your skin, perhaps your feet on the earth beneath you. What are 4 things that you feel? Tuning in now to 3 things that you can hear. Anything that you hear, both far away and near. Could be in your environment or even within your body. Tuning in to 2 things that you can smell. And now tuning in to 1 thing that you can taste. Could be the lingering flavor of gum. You might have no flavor in your mouth. Perhaps is the taste of the air moving through your mouth or your nose. And for a few moments now, tuning in to all of the sensations that you feel, that you taste, that you hear and see through your lids, that you smell, integrating all of your senses, expanding your sensory perception, noticing what it feels like to bring the mind and the body the breath together, integrated in this moment. You might notice if there are any places where you feel ease, lightness, perhaps areas of constriction or tension. Whatever you notice is perfect. It's all welcome. Letting all of the sensations coexist in this moment. And we'll begin now our mindful body scan. And as I call your attention to various areas of the body, move your awareness slowly and deliberately to that particular area. You might allow your attention to rest there for a few seconds on each body part in this slow and gradual and continuous fashion, noticing every sensation and then relaxing each area, releasing any tension that you might discover along the way. And if at any time you feel distracted by a sensation, a thought, an emotion, simply acknowledge it and gently return your attention to the scan, to the body. Feeling the heaviness of your body sinking into the surface beneath you. Having complete faith that you are supported and held. There's nowhere else that you need to be except for right here in this space, tuning into your body. Letting go and releasing any debris, dusting that table. And bringing your attention to your scalp, noticing any sensations there. Moving to your forehead, releasing any tension or crinkling as you soften your eyes and your cheeks, the space in and around your ears. Feeling into your nose and your nasal passages, your lips, the roof of your mouth, letting your tongue rest heavily in the lower palate of your mouth, releasing any tension in your jaw. Softening the throat, relaxing as you move into your shoulders and your scapula. releasing any tension as you move into your right upper arm, your bicep, and your tricep. Moving into your elbow, your right forearm, wrist, moving into your right hand and each of your fingers, allowing any stagnant energy, anything that wants to be released, move through the tips of your fingers and out into the space around you. Scanning your left upper arm, your bicep, and your tricep, your elbow, your forearm, your left wrist, your left hand, your left fingers, moving any stagnant energy all the way down and through your left arm, out through your fingers into the space around you. Noticing the sensations in your upper back, letting go of any tension, any clenching, allowing it to move through, relaxing your mid back, your lower back, any tension in the spine. You might even bring the breath to the spine and move anything through that you notice there that creates tension. And bringing your attention now to the front of your body, noticing the sensations in your chest, your rib cage, in your heart, relaxing your diaphragm and your belly, and tuning in now to your hips, allowing them to soften as you sink further into the surface beneath you, feeling the support of the chair or the cushion, the sofa, really allowing it to hold you. You are safe in this moment. And bringing your attention now to the left leg, scanning your hip, your thigh, your quadricep and hamstring, feeling into your left knee, your calf, ankle, your left foot and toes. moving any stagnant energy from the hip all the way down the leg through the toes. Doing one more scan. And shifting your attention now to the right hip, the right thigh, the quadricep, and the hamstring. Feeling into the right knee, the right calf, ankle, foot, and the right toes. And moving and scanning one last time from the hip all the way through, down through the right leg and out your toes. Moving any clenching or tension, any spaces that need to be shifted and moved out through the toes. Now tuning in to your body as a whole, connecting your toes with your legs, with your seat and your chest and belly, your arms with your neck and your head. Integrating all parts of your physical body into one. Noticing the stillness. Perhaps notice any ways that you shift or sway. All is perfect in this moment. All parts of you integrated, working together. Sharing so much wisdom. Bringing your attention now very gently to your breath. Wherever you notice the breath, whether in your nostrils, your chest, or your belly, simply becoming aware of your in-breath and your out-breath. Breathing in, and breathing out. This beautiful exchange of being alive. And with each in-breath and with each out-breath, you might imagine the breath like a pillow or a cushion that your mind is very gently resting on. You might even say to yourself silently with each breath, I am, as you inhale, and peace as you exhale. I am peace. We'll rest in this place for a few minutes and I'll track the time. If you notice that your mind has wandered to a thought or a feeling, an emotion, simply return to the breath, breathing in, I am, breathing out, peace. And with each breath, dusting that table, allowing for your inner wisdom to arise moment to moment. As you continue to rest in the stillness for another minute or so, I'd like to share some wise words from Sogyal Rinpoche, a spiritual teacher of Tibetan Buddhism. It's about purification. Imagine that you had gone all your life without ever washing, and then one day you decide to take a shower. You start scrubbing away, but then watch in horror as the dirt begins to ooze out of the pores of your skin and stream down your body. Something must be wrong. You were supposed to be getting cleaner, and all you see is grime. You panic and fling yourself out of the shower, convinced that you should never have begun. But you only end up even more dirty than before. You have no way of knowing that the wisest thing to do is to be patient and to finish the shower. It may look for a while as if you're getting even dirtier, but if you keep on washing, you will emerge fresh and clean. It's all a process, the process of purification. So as our meditation draws to a close, I invite you to gradually deepen the breath, bringing some gentle movement back into the body. You might shift a bit in your seat, perhaps move the head from side to side, wiggling the fingers or the toes. And then if you want to take some bigger movements, you might stretch into the space around you, arms out to the side or above your head. And just tuning in to what your body needs in this moment. And really taking your time to come out of meditation slowly. Reacclimating your nervous system. And when you're ready, you might open your eyes just gradually with a downward gaze. And then lifting your gaze to meet the space around you. And perhaps tuning into something that you didn't notice during the five senses practice, that you are taking in for the first time. Allowing your day or your evening to be filled with a fresh sense of wonder, curiosity. I want to thank you so much for being with me today in community. The light in me honors and sees the light in all of you. Namaste. We'll see you next time.